Hi guys, welcome to this video and welcome to my channel. My name is Laura from PleiadianHealer.com and welcome to another New Age review video. Yay! So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and share the screen. This might be a woman or girl you have not necessarily heard of. She has been around the block though, and the reason I want to do a review on her is simply because she was also among one of the first people that I started following. And when you look at when her channel was created, it was back in 2012. So she probably started creating videos like around 2014 or 2015, or maybe even earlier than that. She is Bridget, her name is Bridget Nielsen. She also has a website and everything. And she's all about the starseed concepts. I think she's one of the more original ones, like the original people, even before Elizabeth April and everything, who were kind of always talking about like the Syrians and Pleiades and Arcturians and all of that. She's also a huge person who was talking about the alien hybridization program. So real quick, we're going to go to her website. Somewhere on her website, it had like a section where it was really talking about the alien children and how you basically part of that program and how you're going to have like alien kids in the astral and everything. That is actually quite scary. I do want to point that out. Let's go back to her YouTube channel because the website is a bit all over the place. That is extremely scary. Why is that scary? Because they're basically taking parts of your soul pieces, like parts of your actual soul, and siphoning them off and creating all these AI entities named aliens with them. And people like her are promoting the project. Elizabeth April was another one who was also kind of talking about it, but she stopped talking about it a while ago. But Bridget Nielsen was really a person who was all in it, who was even drawing her own alien kids and everything in her own art because she's a painter and everything herself. So very dangerous concept, because basically you're not supposed to have alien kids. You know, you're not even supposed to have like random kids that you don't even know about, whether or not it's physical kids or in the astral. And you having kids somehow in the astral means during these alien abductions, which definitely do happen, unfortunately, they're taking random egg and sperm samples of yourself and kind of siphoning them off and shipping them off to these other dimensions and creating these random entity kids or whatever with them. I do think it's a thing in a way or another. Others might feel that's not a thing, but I do think it does exist, and that they're kind of creating these other realities without your knowing, without your consent. But people like her, I don't know if she knows that this is wrong or if she doesn't know it is wrong. I'm assuming she may not know. People like her think it's perfectly fine and that it's cool and that you're absolutely supposed to be doing that. So that's why I want to review her, just to kind of show you how dangerous people like her can be too. Going back to her main YouTube channel, she does have less than 100,000 followers. It does steadily grow. What is a bit surprising to me is that she's friends with big names like Victor Oddo right here. There's a video on Victor Oddo, how to navigate your spiritual awakening and find your purpose with Victor. She's also BFFs with Melanie Beckler from Ask Angels. There was another video somewhere further down the line with her. There's also a whole bunch of other people. She was together with this one singer, you know, conscious uncoupling, breaking up in love and all that stuff. So she's actually friends with these big names who have like 1 million followers or 200,000 followers on YouTube, but somehow her own YouTube channel was never really able to pick up to that degree, which I personally find a little bit surprising. All these spiritual gurus or wannabe teachers, they also live in Sedona. So Victor, her, Melanie Beckler, and Melanie Beckler's husband, like all of them kind of live in Sedona, or at least used to live in Sedona. That was the case a few years ago. I'm not sure what happened during 2020 and beyond. And Sedona, you know, as you guys know, I've been there a few times already. Sedona is a spiritual place, that is correct, but it has a lot of portals, it has a lot of vortexes, and a lot of them are meant to siphon off your energy too. So when people like her promote it, it always got me thinking that there's an agenda behind that too, that they want more people to visit that place to kind of stick their own energy into it. And it's kind of like an energy sucking portal thing that kind of came to my mind. But of course, Sedona is a beautiful place. Is that the only place you're ever going to find enlightenment in your life? Absolutely not. It actually can be a very tough place to live because you have all of that energy stuff going on there. So I'm not a huge fan of people like her who are always like trying to shove into your face that they live in this beautiful landscape and that's the only way to live. I don't agree with that at all. I think you can find enlightenment wherever you are in the world, even in the middle of New York City or in the middle of Nothingville, Connecticut or whatever. So looking at her website again, you know, she has like courses, retreats, high vibe recipes. Of course, all of them are vegan. So really reinforcing that vegan agenda. The vegan agenda is a starvation agenda meant to disempower you on a physical level. So with your physical body. I know it's always so triggering for new agers because they always think they have to be vegan to ascend, but that is completely incorrect. Also, meat has proven to cure certain types of cancers, just putting that out there for people who are going through that situation right now. Not talking about the factory farming that's going on, but certainly other things. But we can talk about it in a different video if you're interested in that. So then we're going to her Instagram, and this is a post. Hold on, can you actually see it? I'm not sure. But basically, Bridget Nielsen is talking about conscious uncoupling. We started this romance as barefoot hippie kids, blah, blah, blah. Patrick Hayes, you know, so basically the essence of it is they're breaking up. But of course, they have to phrase it in this new age way. And this is back in 2020, that, oh, they're so spiritual, they decided to go separate ways. So another like bullshit post that kind of shows who she really is. She has a few posts on, you know, her painting and everything. And I mean, I'm not really into painting or drawings that much. It seems all right to me. Doesn't seem like she's not untalented. Let's put it that way. She also has a whole lot of posts on Stonehenge. I remember kind of watching her, I think it was 2016 or 2017. And she was really promoting her retreats to Maui and Stonehenge and all of that. It always sounded so great to me, but back in the days, but now I'm kind of happy I wasn't a part of that because who knows what situation you would have ended up in, like probably calling in all these other entities, and then you have to remove entities once you get back from those retreats. So yeah, she wanted to originally get off of her Instagram. That's what she announced in 2021, why I'm leaving Instagram. But then there were still posts after that. So typical New Age manner, she can't keep her own word to stay off of Instagram. And they still have to use it as a marketing technique somehow to sell their courses and to sell everything else. So, and nothing wrong with that, by the way. You got to do what you got to do, especially when you have less than 100,000 followers and you're friends with Victor Oddo and all those other people who are not giving you their followers, right? It kind of stinks. I see that. So here, what we have here is a few videos. A lot of them are on the longer side, so like 1.5 hours long or 40 minutes long. I found a video that's 15 minutes long. There's also a 13-minute long video. We're going to start with the 15-minute long one. Not sure if we'll make it all the way. It's very hard to dissect through them because there's so many buzzwords and terms that are thrown your way that are just, you know, very daunting for someone like me who sees through those deceptions. It also seems like it's always the same they're talking about. So I already noticed that over the past few review videos that I have made. It's always the same topic, just packaged into different words, you know. There's no originality in these people words. One of them is called what all starseeds light workers and wanderers need to know 2021 energy update. So this is 10 months ago. We're gonna kind of do that though. I know it's an older video, but she's really not posting a whole lot. You know, that's another thing. If you want to build a channel, maybe you should post more than like once a year. But I think it still conveys her essence because she really hasn't changed much from the past 10 years she's been around. At least that's what I'm getting. There's another one, what all starseeds need to know for advanced light workers, which I thought maybe we should look into that first. The buzzword light worker comes through. You know, if you're not a light worker, you're a dark worker. At least that's what a dark worker, at least that's what it implies. You know, everyone's a light worker in a form or another. Like there's no real definition to a light worker. It's a new age term. It's made up, and it's made up to make you feel more special. So without further ado, let's play her video. Let me put my microphone up so that you can actually hear it. Her audio quality is all right. And what really delighted me, as opposed to all the other videos we already dissected. Her video quality is great too. So she's actually making the effort to seem professional. She's not recording in a car during rush hour in the middle of Oregon or wherever the heck Lori Ladd was. She's actually in her place in high vibrational spiritual Sedona with all the energy sucking vortexes. She has a couch in the background. All of that is good. You know, I have that too. So great setup. She has a good microphone quality, a good video quality, and all of that is actually great for someone who wants to appear professional on the YouTube. So that gets thumbs up for that for sure, but everything else is probably going to get a thumbs down. So let's just go ahead and review Bridget Nielsen.
Bridget, and today we're going to be talking about what all star seeds, wanderers, light workers on the path of ascension need to know right now.
Okay, sorry for pausing it like that. Yeah, all the buzzwords: star seeds, light workers, whatever wanderers even means. Crazy. And Ascension came through too. Did you guys hear that? Ascension. It's all about the Ascension. She's still talking about the Ascension. She's been around for 10 years. No one's ascended yet. I wonder why.
Is the most helpful in this chaos to redirect us and get us on mission.
She does use a lot of hand movement. I know I used to do that in the beginning too, and then I started noticing it's very distracting. So she should probably stop doing that. But I do like her energy. And that's kind of what I felt also attracted to in the beginning, like 2016. I actually liked her energy. You know, her age group is obviously going to attract people of a similar age group or younger. And she's not talking overly slow like Elena Denan was. She doesn't have a French accent either, which that's not Elena's fault, obviously. But, you know, she just appears very dynamic, fresh, whatever. It's just her hand movement. She really has to get rid of that.
On task in our lives. So where I'm going to start is what I've been.
We're so excited. I mean, you can really feel the excitement in her voice though, right?
Exploring lately a lot, which is the raw material work, which is.
Here we go. Aside from Ascension, here we go. Another New Age trap, the raw. And just when you pause it like that, you almost see how either angry these people are or how controlled they are by other entities. Like I see that very clearly. When you slow-mo it, it's almost like their real personality comes through. It's like, wow, and like this raw, like trying to like devour you. And that's what you really see when you really slow-mo them. Also, her logo down here is a New Age symbol. And those New Age symbols are no good. I can already tell you that. Like all of these flower of lives and flower of this and that are really meant to loop you further into their New Age program.
It's a channeled work, and I went deep.
The channeled work of Ra, R-A.
Deep into it because I interviewed Aaron Abke on my podcast.
Aaron Abke is another one who would be worth reviewing. He kind of blew out of nowhere, and he's really into the entire alien agenda. I think he's a New Ager.
Podcast, so be sure to go check out.
Did you see she just edited that? Like I always noticed that
episode down below, and then I went deeper into it with my dad, and
she looks so desperate trying to convey her material. Like her eyes are almost bulging out of her skull. And also, she always talks about her dad. I think at one point she was saying her dad was her twin flame or something. And then she got all confused and was saying, oh no, I'm still in the search for my twin flame or whatever. Like these people are so confused in their life. Really, they really are confused.
In a future episode. So there's lots of goodness.
And they always backtrack.
There about the framework infrastructure of this ascension process in
ascension process. Another buzzword.
Terms of third density, what people often in the spiritual world talk about as moving from third dimension to the fifth dimension.
Yeah. So sometimes I kind of think, because you have the newer New Age movement, which is her age group, and then you have the older New Age movement, which is Magenta, Pixie, and even people that are older than her. Believe it or not, there are people that are older than Magenta. And her dad is probably part of that movement. And when I stayed in Sedona, I got to meet some of the people that were around that age group, 60, 70, maybe even 80 years old. And it's shocking to me how long this 5D crap has been around, like this ascension trap. It is really shocking to me how long these people have been pushing their BS onto people like you and I, maybe too. Because we were all part of this new age trap, obviously. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this video. How long they've been pulling it off, and people are still not seeing through this deception. Like it always baffles me, because I actually had an educated discussion with these people, and I was really questioning them. And they, at the end of the day, they were like, "Okay, well, we don't want to talk to you anymore." I was like, "Yeah, you don't want to talk to me because you know you're full of BS, and you're pushing your ayahuasca retreats and all of that onto these people, these poor people, and harvesting their energy."
Okay.
And maybe she was even recruited by her father to do this younger generational thing, to trap these younger generations, is what I'm getting.
Well, what is this third dimension, more accurately, third density? What is the purpose? So I'm going to be getting into this in future videos coming up here, because I think
I'm just so distracted by her hand movement. I really like her energy. I don't like what she says at all, but I do like her energy. And I think there's some form of charisma coming through, but I don't like her hand movement. She has to get rid of her hand movements.
that getting back to the basics, like 101, what are we doing here and where we're going is going to be really essential. But for now, I'll say in short that the purpose of third density is to choose whether you want to be service to others.
Yeah, service to others. How about you be of service to yourself? No one ever promotes that in the new age. I wonder why.
Positivity, or service to self, negativity.
Ooh,
and
service to self, negativity. Did you guys hear that? Serving yourself and becoming the best version of yourself is negative in the new age. Wow, that's the brainwashing.
When you get to the point of being over 51% positively oriented, that means that you then graduate or ascend to that next level of game. The next.
Wow. Where are these random numbers? It's 51, like 5 + 1 is 6. Is that like a Masonic number somehow? Because I do think she might be affiliated with the Masons. This is crazy. She also looks a bit Jewish to me. I hate to say it, but when you talk about, nothing against Jewish people, but it's just kind of something in her hand and her nose and everything. I know some people say I'm Jewish too. I'm actually not Jewish, but thank you for the compliment. Now, there could be an agenda behind all of that. Obviously, her website also kind of mentioned how somewhere on her about page, it was kind of like, her parents were super rich, but during the 2009 financial crisis, they lost everything. So maybe they were in banking or finances somehow, which would make sense for Jewish people.
Next level of the game, right? Fourth density.
This is crazy that people actually believe this still, like after 40 plus years. When you are 51% of service to others, you're going to ascend to the 5D. Like, where's this crap coming from? And look at her hand. It's almost like there's like stuff on her hand, trying to like hypnotize people, like energetically.
And that's what a lot of us in this community are aiming towards, right? And this is
No, we are not aiming towards that. We are aiming towards getting out of this trap, Bridget Nielsen.
The trajectory of how you can choose to go in this direction. So bringing us back around to now, right now in the world.
Maybe her hand movement is also supposed to put a spell on people.
What we can do, and the download I've been getting.
Did you see she edited that? Like, the edits are very choppy, very, very sloppy.
From Spirit, from the Galactics, is that
from Spirit and the Galactics. She was all about the Galactics. I think she was also Galactic Federation puppet. I'm not really sure. Or Galactic Federation of Worlds, like Elena Danan.
It is essential to realize that if you are a wanderer, if you're a starseed, that means that you have another soul parallel incarnation from a higher density, and you chose to come back here. Okay, now think about it. If you are coming from a higher density that is positively oriented, we're going to assume that it's positively oriented, because you can go fourth density negative and fifth density negative, but we're going to assume you're coming.
This is just confusing. Like, it's bamboozling and confusing, right?
Coming back fourth, fifth, sixth density positive here and now. And now you're like, I'm a starseed, I'm a wanderer, I'm here, let's do this, Bridge. I'm like, okay, let's do this. To have been in the...
This is like another edit. Yeah, you can already see where this is going. I'm not sure we have to watch the full 15 minutes, but it's all about dragging you further in the starseed trap, which she's been promoting the starseed crap for like 10 plus years.
Those higher densities would have meant that there was more positive orientation, because positive orientation is what connects. It's what makes us come together in unification towards oneness, right?
Ra, the law of one, because you can never be unique. In the New Age, the oneness concept is meant to like all the power of one, like all for we're all the same, we're one, we're not all the same. Most of the people are AI, maybe also her, I'm not sure. Is that like some form of something in her teeth, like some filling or whatever? Like you can see everything. This is how good her camera is. You can literally see the fillings in her teeth. So it's like, yeah, power of one, power of unity, but never ever have your own opinion on things, never ever criticize me. Otherwise, you are a negative, self-serving bastard, is basically what she's saying.
And so inherently, one of the things that's essential right now for us to do,
her hands is really distracting,
is to realize as these light workers,
her edits are really distracting too. Like I hate to point this out all the time, but it's just very sloppily done.
We're actually meant to bring way more positivity than we think.
Yeah, but I mean, we're supposed to experience the duality, so we're here to experience the positive and the negative, right? Not according to her.
Or than what we see in the world. So if to graduate from third density, you need to be 51% and above. So
where's this random number? Like she's the only one who's making up this random number. I haven't heard it from all the other New Agers. It's kind of like every New Ager has their own program, and hers is like making up random numbers and the law of one with Ra and blah blah blah. It's probably she got it from her dad. I can already tell you, because she had her father in one of the videos, and her father was literally like one of those people you see walking around in Sedona, that are like the original spiritual New Age teachers. And those are I feel those are almost the most dangerous ones, because they're teaching people like her how to like keep the program alive in a way, you know?
It can be 51%, you know, a good amount of the time, or most of the time. That's not too bad. What is required?
And she's talking about required. This is a lot of pressure to be a star seed. Why can't you just be a normal person?
Actually, to be shining lights, to balance negativity, because it's really just about balancing negativity.
So you can have negativity, but you have to balance it. See, she's kind of backtracking here.
To be examples is to actually operate at a much higher percentage of positive orientation and service to others than even the 51%. And
did that make sense to you guys? I don't know if we missed something, but that sentence didn't make sense.
And a lot of us maybe are just still, you know, aiming towards that 51% because there's negative thoughts.
You know, I'm sure if she were a friend or so not talking about this New Age programming, I'm sure she would be a lovely person. But what she's talking about makes her so dangerous, because people are watching her channel, just like I used to watch her channel, and they're actually believing her garbage, and they're falling for all this, like, oh, 51% this, 51% that, and alien hybridization program, and oh, I have to give my semen to these entities.
It's negative words, negative actions that we still take that are separative or that are destructive, and that's okay. And part of it is being really kind to ourselves in the journey. We chose to come back, so that means there's more.
Yeah, so I think at this point, people who watch my channel know we did not choose to come back. We were tricked to reincarnate, and we were tricked to come to Earth. And if you're not aware of that, go to my channel. The playlist new to this channel says it all.
Learning. There's some more learning to do in this.
This is like the Dolores Cannon Earth School trap program.
Density, and that's totally okay. And to raise the bar to why you truly came here, at least for me, is quite empowering. So what we're wanting to do is to be higher.
Yeah, she's also a person who has on her website, she had like 50 plus incarnations, some as like a witch or a droon or like all of these weird things that they were really impressive. Like when I read it in 2016, I was like, wow, she's really tapped in. And in hindsight, I'm just like, this person doesn't know what she's talking about.
Than the 51%, we're wanting to become light beings of love and emanation of positivity and clarity.
Yeah, no one ever talks about how to get out of this matrix and how to go back to source, including her. It's always about ascending, light beings, giving up your power, giving up your humanness, and basically handing it over to these entities.
And free will in everything that we do and how we move through this world and every action and every purchase and everything that we do. And that might seem like a lot or not, but that's the direction.
A law. Now she's talking about the law. So it's the law of Ra for people who haven't gotten the memo, which is a huge New Age program and trap.
And this is not to bypass anything. This is
but that's what you're doing. You're bypassing. You're bypassing Bridget Nielsen, and also your hand. There's something on your hand. You're putting like something in this video, like attacking people, and I can see that because I can feel energy. I know what you're doing. But people who watch your videos, like how many people watch that video? 11,000. Yeah, I mean, she's not getting a lot of views. That's the thing. I think she's not getting a lot of views because her videos just aren't that full with substance, you know, and she's not posting regularly enough.
Inclusive, seeing everything as it is. Now, the reason why this is essential, if any of you are into healing work, what a healer does. So when I was giving private sessions,
oh my gosh, we're so special. We're all healers.
People,
we're all Reiki healers. We all work with Reiki symbols and entities coming through.
It would come in. What the healer is really doing is they're holding.
It's so funny. She was saying she gave personal sessions, but she's not doing it anymore. Like all these people gave up their personal sessions, including Elizabeth April, Feel Good as well. Look, all these people gave them up. Magenta Pixie, another one, not giving personal sessions anymore because I'm pretty sure some people were pretty unhappy with their session insight. Let's put it that way.
A higher vibration. They're holding a healed state of the ideal outcome, the ideal alignment of that person's highest expression, higher self, so that then they can actually just vibrationally match and sync with that energy. And that is part of the essential ingredient mixture of what a healer is doing.
Now she's defining for you what a healer has to do. This is crazy. I mean, this is really Looney Tunes come alive, right? I'm not saying she's Looney Tunes, but the statements she's making, you know, spiritual teachers are supposed to be expansive and all-knowing, but these statements are very restrictive. It's like, if you're not 51%, you're not this, you're not that. If you're not all these other things in the mixture, you're not a healer. It's basically, they're putting so many boundaries and limitations on who we are. I'm surprised people are even watching this still. And so there's so much judgment. You know, people are always like, oh, you're judging them with the review videos. That is correct, but they're putting so much judgment on and pressure on you who like these people that you're not even noticing it because you're completely unarmored by their witch spells and spells in general. That
is essentially what we're doing as wanderers and starseeds light workers, is we are
she had to backtrack that. She didn't even know what she wanted to say. Light workers or starseeds or wanderers. Like, did you see that?
Coming back down to
she was like rolling her eyes.
A higher space for those that are choosing. Like, I'm not sure. I haven't ever graduated from this density, and I'm wanting to, but I'm not sure.
No one's ever going to graduate from this density. Your dad never graduated from it. You are not graduating from it, and your hybrid children aren't graduating from it either, Bridget. You're just reiterating over and over again what generations of people have done over the past hundreds of years.
Sure, should I choose?
You're part of the New Age program.
Positivity or negativity? Can I make it to the 51%? We're meant to hold space for them. And in that, it grants the availability of their free will to choose, because we're just really balancing.
Free will? Does that exist? I don't think it does, really. In a way it does, but not really. Not the way they're saying it does.
The playing field so that that choice can be truly from a place of free will and not just negative manipulation, coercion into choosing certain things. So that's what we're doing. And we're taking this healing perspective and holding space, but it's in everything that we
like. I'm not sure we're going to see this video to the end, but so far it's been very painful. It's been basically nothing other than we got a number, 51%.
do, that we're emanating and taking action on positivity. Now, to go a little bit deeper, I have a little story for you.
Wow.
So last year, just around this time, I was doing some very deep spiritual work that I had entered into for about 9 months.
That's her thing. She always disappears for like a year or so, and then she emerges like a phoenix from the rising ashes, or however she wants to portray herself. And she's like, oh, I did deep spiritual work, and now I can offer this course to you, and I can offer this and this garbage to you. And it was the thing. I feel it's a thing that these people do to hook you in. I've also noticed it with other people, not just like these huge gurus, but legit people, like smaller accounts that I used to follow that were just MIA, missing in action for like a year or so. And then they would emerge out of nothing, and all of a sudden, yada yada, my life was great. I just wasn't into social media anyway. I wasn't into this and to that. I'm like, no, bullshit. You're just not taking your business serious, and you don't know what else to do. So you keep backtracking to this business that you have because you're so lost in your own life and mission that you have to make up all these stories like, oh, I did deep spiritual work. But you know what, Bridget, if you really were doing deep spiritual work, you would not put so much pressure and judgment on the 51% that you have to achieve to be a light worker or a wanderer or a starseed. And in addition to that, you would be a bit more enlightened, right? Like what the heck is going on here? That there's so many things in her story that make no sense.
And I had been doing pretty well at it. I had been, the caliber, the ante was up, and I was being.
She got a second job because she couldn't afford her lifestyle with what she's doing, because her marketing is complete crap. She never posts online, and she doesn't attract clients.
Asked to be at this higher level of refinement and vibration, and I was doing pretty well. I was like, yeah, I'm like 85.
Maybe she got fired from her real job.
87, 89% there.
Wow. But not 100%. So why is she teaching if she's not 100% herself? Like if she's only 80% there, why is she? No, that makes no sense. Why would you even put that in a video? Honestly, that's just bad marketing.
I'm doing really well. I'm doing way better than I was before. And I was feeling pretty good about that. But
it's always like these false things like, oh, I came back enlightened, but then I have to go back into my cave for another 2 years to come back even more enlightened.
Still this part that I was neglecting, that wasn't a part of the agreement of where I was going to.
Yeah, I actually know people back in the early 2000s who went to India on a life-finding seek or quest for their selves. And this reminds me of what she's doing. It's like they always came back weird, like channeling these weird entities, whatever, but never really fully in life, like never really functional in life. And that's basically what she is too. It's just weird.
Being from. And so I got blasted. I got scolded by the higher spiritual beings and these spiritual authorities that I work with.
And you had to step away from social media for 9 months to be abused by these intergalactic AI entities.
With. And it was so humbling that I was in shock for a whole day and was out for about 20 hours sleeping just to
Wow. So this is like entity possession or like takeover of her body or walk-ins, whatever you want to call it. This is intense. This is like what she's saying is basically saying you're not in control of your life and your body and your soul.
Process what I had done. And there wasn't necessarily anything wrong with what I did.
No, except for you're just confused who you are.
It's that what they told me afterwards, and as I was processing.
Right. She's also, I thought she broke up with her boyfriend because she wanted a family or something. Like what happened with that plan? I mean, she's not getting any younger.
Seeing this is, they said to me, what are you doing? That was their voice. What are you doing? Comparing your.
Yeah. So that's just random entities in your field, and you're letting them navigate your life.
Self to anyone. First of all, it's a mess out there. It's a mess in this reality, in this world.
Wow. You finally noticed that 2020 on has been a mess. Mind blowing. We wouldn't have noticed that without this video, Bridget.
So for you to even look out there and then compare and gauge how you're doing vibrationally or
Vibrationally. It's always the vibration that gets me, like that people still fall for the vibration.
Things that you're striving for spiritually, energetically. It's, what are you doing? You're not, you didn't come here to be in this playing field. You're from this plane.
You're such an advanced person that you can't even get your life together.
Filled. And this real key isn't to create separation. Okay, this isn't to make someone lower or lesser or higher or better.
But that's what you're doing. You're basically saying, I'm up here and you're down there, and therefore I can preach and you cannot.
Just, they're different arenas. Okay, they're different.
Wow. Maybe she was also reincarnated as a Roman gladiator. That's where she got that term from.
Purposes. They have different missions. And so they're like, your mission's over here. And your caliber of where you're wanting, desiring to play from on this soul level is high.
Yeah, it's higher than everyone else's, of course, higher than Victor Oddo even. So the thing is, this is the thing that really is so dangerous, because these entities will tell you anything to feed into your ego. You're so special. You're way too good for this and this and that, and you're not supposed to be doing this and that. But that's how you get confused in life, and how you possibly get so lost that it basically financially ruins your life, bankrupts you, or you're basically not even able to operate in the real world because you keep waiting on, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? Oh my gosh, my spirit guides told me I'm so special, yada, yada, yada. And it's basically what she's saying. Yeah, she's so special. That's why she has so many people watching her videos. I mean, not really, but you know.
And it's a template that is not very available, or
so far you have not told me anything that justifies you using the word special and template in your video in regards to you, Bridget.
Seen on this planet right now. And so you're going to have to take your inspiration,
planet netting you in,
and guidance of what your vibrational yes is, and what service and what positivity means to you from us, from this higher spiritual perspective, because any level of comparison with anyone else never works.
That is true. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't compare yourself to Bridget.
It just doesn't work at all. Comparing yourself to your past self is pretty good, because
yeah, okay, that's something that what Rumi or some other spiritual guru would tell you.
Then you can see your progress. But what we're inviting you towards is your highest expression, your highest alignment. And so
all these buzzwords, highest alignment, as if you're not aligned enough, because obviously, you know, you've been doing this for 10 years, Bridget. You should be aligned to some degree. You should be at more than 87%. You should be at 100%. And if you're not at 100% yet, I don't know what's going wrong somewhere.
I am sharing this story to also invite you into this, to say that, you know, it's like, I'm doing well. I've, you know, started recycling, and I'm doing my, you know, 15-20 minute meditation, and I'm doing this in the world, and I'm being more positive here, and that is fantastic, and wherever you are is perfect. And this is just like a little motivational,
yeah,
coach moment from spirit through me,
through her as a conduit, as a channel. Once again, pay attention to her facial expression right there. It looks pretty lost, doesn't it?
To say, it's time to step it up. We got to go to the next level. We came here to be shining, absolutely blinding beacons of light, to be the higher healed counterbalance to the negativity that.
Wow. So we watched this for 10 minutes to get that
that is
mind-blowing.
naturally inherent here on the planet, so that truly people can see and choose what timeline, what direction, what they want to do with this ascension process, whether they want to go positive, whether they want to go negative, whether they want to take a stroll again through this cycle.
Yeah, because you're being recycled into the false white light tunnel. You're totally forgetting to mention that, Bridget.
Of those possibilities are completely valid. Our job is to make the playing field balanced so that
There's no playing field. You're just here to confuse people even more. It's basically what your entire purpose of existence is.
And we have the availability to do that. And it's really important that we came in here as wanderers, starseeds, la-di-da-di-da, forgetting or turned off to a certain degree.
Yeah, so it's all about the purpose and mission of starseeds.
A lot of us remembered that even if it was just a glimmer of shining hope, there was something in there that kept us tethered to the higher spirit of ourselves and our souls. But we came in here forgetting a lot.
And the galactics.
So in that forgetfulness, there is this lethargic.
Wow, did you see that? The camera had troubles focusing on her. Maybe that's like a sign of spirit that she's not very focused.
Settling in, I just get a Jabba the Hutt kind of vision where I'm like, he's like settling in. It's like, what are you?
Yeah, I think I'm going to end it at that because we're already like 40 minutes in with this review video, and I'm feeling we're not getting much out of it, to be honest with you. I mean, it was slightly more interesting than the other ones before. I don't know, like a throat chakra blockage in New Age terms. No, I mean, it was slightly more interesting, but it's just, I understand how no one's really following her because there's nothing of substance in her videos. On the other hand, there was also nothing of substance in other people's videos. I think she's just not posting enough so that people would be interested in her. And she's really been around for a long time. So I'm kind of surprised how no one really follows her stuff anymore. But on the other hand, it's good because maybe people are waking up from all these deceptions that the New Age is throwing at you. If you want to see more of these type of videos, more of this type of content, let me know, comment below. If you're familiar with Bridget's work, comment below as well. Would be interesting if you actually fell for her agenda too. And if you have more exclusive information, let us know too. And until then, I hope you have a wonderful time. I'm so exhausted from this video. Like I'm exhausting. I'm sweating. I'm just like, oh my gosh, that was so painful. They're very hard to watch. It's very hard to see, what people have really turned into over the years too. And I hope you have a wonderful time. Enjoy your day. Until then, bye starseeds, bye light workers, bye ascended 51%. Have a good one.